Hey, coaches, welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip. Today, I think it's going to be a little more entertaining than normal. I hope it's going to be all video clips, and you have to put up with my voice. I'm sorry, I finally got it back. Some of y'all that saw the where I did the Troy, how they did their hurry up back in the day, back in the 80s, heard how raspy I was. That was over the Thanksgiving break. But today, I want to talk to you about the triple option. It ain't gone. It just changed with the times. And most of y'all probably know this, but I was just doing what I normally do, going through, watching all the college football games on Sunday and Monday. That's the great thing about having that DVR. I got it set to record all the games I want to see and the different offenses and defenses I want to look at. You get a lot of ideas from doing that, especially as cold as it's been down here lately. And I hadn't been doing my runs. I've been riding my stationary and watching a ton of football. How many of y'all remember, if you're my age, back when I was a little boy, there was a group called Jefferson Airplane. Grace Slick was the lead singer. They had it was kind of a acid rock kind of sound, the Alice song, and was it White Rabbit, and it was kind of some trippy music. And then in the 70s, they changed their name, to Jefferson Starship, but it was still basically the same band, still her, the lead singer. I'm sure some of the instrumental people changed, the musicians. And then later on, they just became, in the 80s, they became just Starship, totally dropping Jefferson from their name. And, of course, they did the theme song from the Mannequin movie. You say, Coach, this is a football football channel. Why are you talking about old rock bands that changed to the times? That's what the triple option did. If you go back and look at it, it was like Run from the T back in the 50s. The dead T, and then it was Run from the Split T, as that became in vogue in the 50s and early 60s. And of course, Yeomans took it, and he slid that fullback over in the Split T. Now you had two halfbacks, so to speak, or two fullbacks, depending how you want to look at it, and they ran the split back veer triple option. And then, of course, we know what happened to Emory Bellard, the OC at Texas in the late 60s, with the advent of the wishbone. And then on through the 70s, that was the dominant offense, won more national championships than any other offense won it in the 70s. And on into the 80s with Oklahoma winning some national titles. Then, of course, we know what happened in the early 80s when Ken Hatfield was at Air Force with Fisher DeBerry as his OC. They started flexing it, and that eventually became known as the fishbone. And that's what Navy and Army and, of course, Georgia Southern made famous. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about things change with the introduction of the gun about in the 90s when the air raid really took off with Mummy and Leach down at Valdosta in the early 90s. The gun took off, and the triple kind of went away for a lot of offenses. There were still some holdouts that kept running it, and they still are today. But eventually it comes back around because nobody, as Paul Johnson said, talking about the bone, nobody learned to stop it. It just went out of fashion. And Lou Holtz said that. He said still to this day, you take a team like a Georgia and Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, which are four of the top teams, get the best players every year. If they ran the triple with those same athletes, they would probably be just as successful as Alabama and Oklahoma were back in the 70s and then Oklahoma on in the 80s. And I'm not a defender of the wishbone. What I'm saying is the triple still can't be stopped if executed. So what have offensive coaches done? They figured out how to use it in their gun offenses. And it's even better to some degree because here's why. In the old days when you ran the triple, if the pitch went on the ground, it was a live ball. Nowadays, with using the triple from gun, majority of the time, the pitch phase of the triple is a forward pass. If that joker ends up on the ground, play over. Let's look at some video. I got Oregon and Alabama. This video may go a little bit long, but it's entertaining because you get to see clips. Let's look at it. All right, coaches, this is Oregon, and it's going to be Oregon and Bama is what we're going to be looking at. By the way, let me give a shout out. I left his watermark up here, and I assume it's a dude, at Do a Barrow Roll. I assume his last name is Barrow. He does a great job. I watch his videos all the time. I cannot believe that more people don't view this stuff. It's let me give a shout out to him, at Do a Barrow Roll. There's no commercials. It doesn't kick in. I guess he hasn't monetized his page, his channel. But what he does, he takes the best games of the week, and I think maybe whatever teams he's a fan of, eliminates all the huddles, eliminates all the commercials, will show replays of big plays. And they'll be side by side. You'll see him on the page, on the channel, where he'll do like Bama offense only versus Auburn, since that game was just played, and then versus Auburn's defense. And then right beside it, Auburn's offense only versus Bama's defense. And he does it. It doesn't do every game, obviously. And I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he finds time to do it. But it's called Do a Barrow Roll. And I get a ton of video from that channel. And maybe he doesn't monetize it because he's using like CBS, ESPN, and Fox's video. I don't know. But I use theirs too, and they never say anything. It's, whatever. But this right here is good stuff. All right, so watch what they're going to do. All right, they're going to, and you say, that's not triple. Yes, it is. He's reading this cat right here. If this cat had chased, he could have kept it and run, okay? But look what happens when they do this. And when they come back later, and you'll see it in the Bama film as well, it softens the box. Now, what he's looking at is, do they have enough out here to play it? Look here, you got 1, 2, 1, 2, ball carrier, receiver makes 3, 1, 2 inside. So what he's doing is, Nix is counting the leverage. By the way, I think Oregon has proven that there was nothing wrong with Patrick Nix when he was at Auburn. He was just misused. And don't come back and say, well, if he played against a real defense. All right, I'm an SEC guy too. Get over yourself. They play real defense in the Pac-12. Some of the teams do anyway. All right, but look what they're doing. He's going to he's going to look at the leverage. If he's got leverage, it's over. He's just going to throw it. Okay? Now, if this guy had run out here from the jump instead of squatting a little bit, watch what I'm talking. Watch him right here. Right there. That move right there told Bo Nix, I'm throwing the joker. If the joker had stayed out here, Bo would have kept it, come right here, been one-on-one with this cat right here. This cat comes up, makes the play. It's a 5-yard gain. See, that dude can't make the play. He just slipped. All right, here it is again. You get a good look at that guy. The outside backer, the overhang, whatever you want to call him. Watch him. On the snap, right there, boom. That's who he's looking at. You got to look at one guy on this. It's just like old school triple where you're reading your DN or your four-tech, whatever it is you run, inside veer, outside veer, it depends. And I don't think this was triple. This was double. It was either give or keep. And they're doing it off the split zone look. Right here. So when he sees that end, or outside back, or whatever he is, right here, when he sees him squeeze, he's going to disconnect, and he's got a lead blocker out here on the safety. Right there. Good for a touchdown. Here it is again from the end zone. Boom, he's reading this guy right here. Watch. He's reading this guy right here. Remember, I've told you before, there's different ways to look at it. Can he tackle me? Or can he tackle the dive? Okay. I think on this one, Bo Nix is looking right here. So can this dude, number 8, tackle me? And when number 8 turns his shoulders and squeezes, he's done. He can't make the play. See? He can't make the play on the quarterback. And it was such a well-executed play, the block almost didn't even need to happen. All right, so that's not triple. Yes, it is. He's reading this guy right here. Watch. If this guy, excuse me, that's the one he's reading, he's going to give it or not. If this guy, right here. You say, well, it wasn't a very good play. It matters. These are purpose plays. It opens up other things. It opens up the dive. It softens the box. You have to run plays like this. I know fans get upset and go, oh, it wasn't a good play. Yeah, it was. It could have shown them something, or it could have had an effect on the defense. All right, so he's read this guy right here. Okay, this guy right here doesn't turn his shoulders. Okay, so I think he should have gave it. But then he looks, this guy right here is not playing he probably should have gave it. But if this guy here can play the quarterback, and so he throws it out here, and you see it ends in a bad play. 1, 2, 3. They got these two outnumbered, and that leaves them one-on-one. They're going to make the play right there. But it has a purpose. All right, now here we come back again. Basically the same play down in the red zone. Okay, let's see who he's reading. This guy right here. This is your give or keep read. Okay, look, there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. As soon as this guy right here goes in, Bo knows he's going to throw it. If this guy stays out here on number 1, he's probably going to keep it and run the ball. Because he's got the block here, he's got the block here. They got a hat for a hat. That leaves this guy here as his second read. Here's his first read. This is his give or keep read right here. Okay, this guy slides down. He can't tackle me is what Bo's saying. By him, he didn't turn his shoulders. Then again, different teams, different quarterbacks have different reads. Said, can he tackle me? Okay, so he keeps it, comes out here. Now his eyes go to this cat. It's just like when you're reading the dive guy, like you're reading the DN on triple, and the guy squeezes, so you keep it. Now your eyes go to your pitch read. This is his pitch read. This is his dive or keep read right here. This is his pitch read. There you go. Similar play right here. This is what I call it, a slide screen to the tight end, H, whatever you want to call him. But we'll put this guy right here in a bind. And remember, he said, well, these aren't gaining tons of yards. They're run plays, y'all. They're run plays with long handoffs. You gotta be like my age, I guess, and you grew up in the 70s watching football, watching the triple, watching the split back veer. You're going to get 3, 4, 5 yards sometimes. Okay, you're not going to. It's not going to be Oklahoma versus, Rice in 1978. Scoring half 100. When you're playing good football teams, it's the same thing with this type of football here. You got to look at it that way. You got to approach it. It's a run. You say, no, it's not. It's a pass. He's throwing it. But it's a run is the way you look at it. You have to look at it in essence. It's a run. And that's a good game. This is a good one, too. You say, that wasn't triple. He just gave the ball. Yeah, it was triple. Watch. All right, right here. I want y'all to count. This is the read. You can't get it cleaner than this. This is the quarterback's read. This is Bo's read. Look at it. He'll catch the ball. His eye's going to go right there to this joker. Joker's coming right to the quarterback, so he's going to give it. Because he can't keep it. If he keeps it, this guy's going to blow his butt up. And then look out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 guys. 4 defenders. 5 counting him. Okay? 6 back here counting the safety. That's 6 guys that can't make the play. Look in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is known as hat for a hat. You got a man for a man. All right? All you got to do is cover 5 dudes. And when you look at it this way, they're getting combo double teams on the line of scrimmage. They're getting combos, and they're going to climb the backer. See the guy coming right here? Bo knows. Bo knows. This guy cannot tackle my dive because he's coming to me. Okay? There you go. That's that same slide screen, this time to more of an athlete than to the tight end. Same slide screen. He said, well, not gaining a lot of yards. You're not going to gain a lot of yards every time you run the football. Remember, you got to look at it like a run. Here it is again. This is the slide screen, but with the give aspect to it. Because here's the read. The read can't make the play on the dive, the zone, the duo, whatever it is you're running inside. And so he gives it. See what I mean? It's running long, but you're getting to watch video, and you got a pause button. You can come back to it later. The defense gets a vote, boys and girls. How about that? I love it when people say, oh, the defense gets a vote. There's 11 cats over here, all on scholarship, that are getting coached 5 days a week, who have spent the off season and the summer in the weight room. They get a vote. And sometimes they play it right. Sometimes they don't. Watch this. This is basically the same thing they've been doing. Similar right here. Boom. See, this time they ran the split zone look with the slide screen. I call it slide screen, just sliding out there. He's not downfield, so if these guys are blocking, it's not going to be illegal. But look, and they played with him. They did a game inside. Look, this guy, his read is right here. So his read comes screaming down inside. Well, Bo's been taught, that's my read. He's screaming down inside. I'm going to disconnect and keep it. But they did a little loop right here. Boom. He's sitting right in the quarterback's face. And this guy's coming out here to take the pitch. What I call the pitch. The little throw right here. It's just a downfield pitch. Watch this. Boom. There it is. Good job by the defense. And he does good to get back a little bit get past the line of scrimmage. All right, let's look at Jalen Milroe. Alabama's been doing a good job of doing this. All right, let's see what they do right here. Now, they do a lot of predetermined quarterback runs with Milroe, but it's not always, okay? Now, I think he was reading the linebacker. Why? Because you don't block your read. If they were reading the end man on the line of scrimmage, the backside tackle screwed up. By blocking him, so I think he's reading this cat. Then again, he may not be reading anybody. It may be predetermined to get him outside. But his eyes are right here. Do y'all see that? Watch Milroe's eye. Look, he's going to catch the football. And if he ain't reading it, he's making it look like it. Right there. Check that out. You say, well, there's really no mesh. Well, once you see what you're going to do, you don't have to ride the mesh. That's the glory of the gun. It's not like the under center, split back veer or wishbone where you got to stick it in there every time. But what I'm saying is because of the distance, remember now with the old school triple under center, the read's happening, the mesh is happening right here. So they stick that joker in and ride it. Stick that ball in there and ride it. In the gun, the mesh is happening right here, 4 or 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage, away from the defense. So you can void the mesh. You know, and I teach this a lot to my quarterbacks on the RPO game. Once you see the guy has triggered pull and throw. Once you see the guy is triggered, pull and go. And watch what I mean by this. See, the guy steps in. That's his key. This guy stepped in. He can't catch up to 19. So he caught it behind the line. Means everything downfield is legal. It don't matter how many linemen are downfield. Don't matter wide receivers or stalk blocking. It's a legal play. Okay? And again, the pitch phase, watch. If it's a bad pitch, it's on the ground, play's over. Defense can't scoop and score. And that's the cool thing about this. All right. Now, I don't know if this was a read or not, but the fact that you run the read makes the predetermined quarterback keeps good stuff too. All right. Now, he opens up. His face is right here as if to read this cat. But they blocked him anyway, and you don't normally block a read. Okay? But double option is a good thing too. See what I mean? Right here. Maybe he's doing that to steal his eyes. Get what they call now an eye violation. Right here. Because look at number one. Number one is waiting in here. Now you're going to see several of these coming up where you can tell what's happening to the defense, and it's keeping people, especially that number one at linebacker, it's keeping people inside. Here's that little slide screen again, like Oregon ran, just a different flavor of it. Again, the third phase of the triple is the pitch, always has been, but notice the pitch is downfield. So it's a safe pitch. If he drops it, play over. So that's one way where it's superior. There's two ways to me this is superior to the old triple. Now, I like the old triple. I think there's more deception. The ball's hidden because it's up in the line. But because, okay, the two things I like about this type of triple, the pitch phase is a pass, so it's incomplete if it gets on the ground. The second is your footwork doesn't have to be as meticulous. Your mesh doesn't have to be as clean. You can void the mesh early because here it is. The second reason I like this, that it's not better than, it's just an example of an advantage over the old under center triple, is the distance from the line of scrimmage. Okay? And I've talked to several quarterbacks that are coaching college ball now who ran under center triple. I forget his name now. Is it Guyton? Used to be at Thomas County Central in South Georgia, and then was the quarterback coach at Carson Newman forever. They were split back veer. Thomas County Central was split back veer back in the 80s and 90s. And he said he wishes he could have done it because it's just a cleaner read. It's easier to read from back here. Okay? Defense didn't do a bad job. It's just an athlete making a play right there. All right, now this either is just a straight quarterback keep or it's kind of like a bash. And they're reading this guy right here. Can he tackle me if I keep it and run the counter? Can he tackle, or can he, if he runs upfield, can he tackle my sweep guy? See, it looks like it's going to be bash because he's coming out here to block number 2, tight end / H is. And they're running counter back the other way with the quarterback. That's about a 5-yard gain. I mean, on a run play. See, it's just counter. And he's reading this cat right here. If indeed he's reading him, I think he is, or they'd have blocked him. Can he tackle me? That's obvious. Because I don't think he can't tackle the sweep guy either. Because he's flat-footed. But there's no way he's going to catch up to quarterback. So I think the mindset on that is, can he tackle me? This is your slide screen again. And the defense played it pretty well. Reading him. Can he tackle me? I don't think he read it very well because he could tackle you, and he did. So, Coach, that's just a straight dive. No, I think he's reading it. Because watch this guy right here. Watch the eye violation on this cat right here. If he was playing on a muddy field, he wouldn't be dirty. Number 30. He's an inside linebacker, y'all, and they run an inside dive. And he gets no part of it. Why? Because he has to respect the quarterback. Even if this isn't a read. If it's not a read, the read aspect of the offense made this possible. Because it freezes this cat right here. See what I'm saying? There he is. He's got to honor the quarterback. The guy's a straight dive again. No. He's reading. And if he's not, the read has set it up. Look over here. Look at the guys having to honor this. Leaving the running back one-on-one. Anytime you can get a good running back one-on-one, you're winning. Watch this. See that guy right there? That linebacker? Him. They're making 30's life miserable, aren't they? He don't know whether to wind his butt or scratch his watch. And it leaves him one-on-one with a safety or an outside backer. All right, number 1 does not look like a very good defender on this play at the end of it. Oh, he's soft, he's soft. That's what the average person may say. But you go back and you look at it, it's not that number 1 is soft or number 1's afraid of contact or number 1's a poor tackler. None of that is true. At least not by the evidence presented here. Watch number 1. Don't look at the play. Watch number 1 right here. This outside backer. What's he doing? He's respecting the quarterback because of the quarterback run game, because of the double and the triple option phase of Alabama's attack with Milroe. If he's reading it or not, because they do read it enough, it makes this joker have to honor and respect the quarterback. And it makes him look like he's not very good at the end, but that's not the case at all. He could be one of the best players in the country, but he's got to play his reads. You know, and you don't need to give a good running back much. Because the reason why that last play happened is because of plays like this play. The reason that last play happened because plays like this play. Okay? Plays like this play right here, y'all, are the reason why this stuff happens. The reason why that number 1 looked the way he did looked a while ago. They've got to respect this. Okay, the option game from Gunn is keeping option football alive. Okay, it's been a long one. Keeping you here for 30 minutes. But I told you it was going to, the video, I think, makes it a little bit easier to watch. And, of course, you can always pause it on your phone or on your computer and come back and watch it. Guys, remember what I said. Things change. Jefferson Airplane became Jefferson Starship. Jefferson Starship became Starship. They had to change with the times if they wanted to stay relevant in the music business. You say, well, they didn't stay true to their core. Well, they could have stayed true to their core and to their mission. They started in the 60s and they'd have been broke in the 80s. Okay? Times change. Okay? You can stay the way you are. You know, what is the old saying? Adapt or die. There's a reason we don't have dinosaurs anymore. They couldn't figure out the cold weather. All right? There's a reason human beings are still here. We figured the crap out. Okay? After all the changes we went through as a world, we figured the crap out. Coaches, if you want to stay relevant, you got to be willing to change. And if you don't like change, you're really going to hate being obsolete. Hey, if you want to contact me, it's siegel.chip@gmail.com. Find out. Got a lot of freebies I can give you. I've got my books. I've got 3 books right now. My playbook, my big book of bucks, and my O-line manual for gap down backer. It's still selling like crazy. I'll give you all 3 of them for $60. Okay, or one, if you just want one, it's $30. You know, the first 2 were $20, but hey, it's inflation, okay? Contact me at siegel.chip@gmail.com, on Twitter /X. I'm at Chip Siegel. It's Coach Chip at Chip Siegel. Facebook, Football Talk with Coach Chip. Man, I picked up like 15 or 20 new people in Football Talk with Coach Chip. That's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. And I've been having correspondence with a lot of coaches. Had a good correspondence yesterday and today with a high school coach who stepped away from coaching high school ball to coach his son's rec league team, youth league team, and I admire the crap out of that. I look back on it now and wonder why I didn't do that for my son, and it's because I'm not as good a daddy as this guy is. But hit me up. Let's talk. I love this stuff. This is what I enjoy doing. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Hey, until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Be elite.